Day 41 in transmittal week, so things will be a little bit different this week than they have been. Business and Labor didn't meet until 11. We took executive action on one bill. We took two bills off of the table, so they'll go to, and then pass them out of committee, so they'll go to second reading in the House. And the House floor today, House Bill 229 wanted to greatly increase the amount of money that can be spent on campaigns, and the representative that presented it in his closing said, "Hey, this is our First Amendment right here that we're talking about, you know?" So I don't know how you could any more clearly say that money is speech. And 57 people agreed with him, so you might want to look at that vote. House Bill 310 was the unlawful birth and unlawful life lawsuit. Thank goodness that in committee it was amended to basically be pointless. And you saw almost all of the Democrats vote against it, but you didn't see any of us stand up and talk against it. We didn't talk against it because it had been amended well in committee. We still have issues with it. The issues that we have with it are that the judge did say this is not an issue for the legislature. This is a bill for one case that is still in court, and the judge said this is inflammatory language. First of all, no such thing as wrongful life or wrongful birth exists, and that's not what this case is about, and we shouldn't even be using this language. And it was interesting that a representative stood up on the floor and said that the court does want help and does want the legislature to decide this. This was an ALEC bill. If you do an ALEC search, this is, I think, one of the first bills that will come up. And the representative that stood up in favor of it has himself carried other ALEC bills, so that's not surprising. On House Bill 385, passed, and it makes it easier to kick you out of your apartment. They say that it is so that a landlord can kick out someone who has a meth lab from their apartments and makes it easier to do so. But the problem is that they put in language that says any unlawful act, and reduces the number of days you have to figure out where you're going to go and live. So your high school kid decides that they're going to try a cigarette, and that's an unlawful act, and you have now just a couple of days to get out of your apartment. Your landlord can evict you. I'm all about landlord rights, and I think that that's a balance that we need to be really careful about tipping. House Bill 444 was a great bill that will unlock 1.2 million acres of public lands by allowing tax credits to landowners who allow the public to cross their property to access public lands. So it's a tax credit for landowners in exchange for them opening up a crossing. It would cost $22,000 to open up potentially 1.2 million acres because the government will provide signs saying that that's what's happening. There were only 7 people who voted against it, so there was a bipartisan effort, and the representative who stood up and said he could never vote for a tax credit for elderly homeowners also voted against this tax credit for property owners. So some consistency, and that's always appreciated. House Bill 464 was a great labor law regarding prevailing wages that was brought by a Republican. You see that happen. These organizations that really need to have some work done are going to ask someone who's in the majority to carry their bills for them, so they'll actually pass. And so felt good to get something positive done today. There were 28 bills heard on the House floor today. We got a lot of stuff done in a little bit of time. There was a motion to reconsider the gun bill that failed on Saturday from Representative O'Neill. I had spoken against it. It's to allow guns in locked cars at high schools to be legal, and the motion to reconsider passed 50 to 48. So we're going to be having that argument about guns at high schools again, I imagine tomorrow. I can't wait.